What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. This is serious. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Captain John Usual shit. Hey man, say man, we are lit. Let's over to man. Turn. Today, two motherfucking days. Straight hood and outside. Creep. Yes, sir. Hey man, say man. Stay prayed up out here, man. Y'all see what's going on with that Palestine, Israel shit, man. A lot of shit is going down, man. Prayers out to Palestine, man. I hope everything go good, man. We're gonna have a little bit of the talk at the end about what's going on, man. This situation, man, you know, a lot of people is dying. You know what I'm saying? In these situations, man. And unfortunately, you know, it gotta go like this sometimes, but you know, I'm gonna tell y'all at the end what's really happening around this bitch, man, and so y'all can get the gist of everything, man. Alright, come to y'all, the Black Israelite. Alright, today, to motherfucking day, check here and outside crip. Alright, gang. Ooh, Northside shit. Crip. Alright, man. So we finna talk about young Dolph. Flipper. Hey man. So young Dolph, he did Memphis legend. You know what I'm saying? One of the GOATs, PRE. You know what I'm saying? Been out for a minute. Been running shit, been doing his thing, been celebrity. Even before I really was like, I remember when I did YouTube, but I stopped doing YouTube for a minute. That nigga been popping. Like, he been going crazy. Like, on like platforms, young Dolph been killing the game, man. I can say that, man. That nigga been doing his thing. Him, Yo Gotti, all the niggas, they been doing their thing, man. But unfortunately, it's situations to where shit got escalated real quick, like crip. So young Dolph, you know what I'm saying, gone. You know what I'm saying? Black youngster brother, gone. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of other people in the situation, gone. So this video right here, man, is basically, it's a rundown of what's going on and what happened and why did it all collide into this part. Now, a lot of this is betrayal in PRE and different gangs inside of PRE, and some of it is through the CMG. Shit like Black Youngster, Yo Gotti, all this situation, man. So, we got videos explaining how all the people that's really been in this situation is all disappeared and basically dead, you know what I'm saying? And we got another video. The first video gonna be long as fuck, so y'all get ready for that one. The second video is gonna be kind of long, but it's gonna be about how young Dolph, how when he died, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have no security guards around him. And you know young Dolph usually has security guards around him. So we got both videos about this situation. If y'all want to watch the whole thing, just to get the gist of what going down and how did it all go down and how all the people who've been in this shit is all either locked up or died or is still going through some shit. Hey, this shit is getting crazy, man. It's escalated fast. And yeah, Memphis has got a war out here, man. So hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Like and subscribe, man.
Tragic death of young Dolph had a domino effect.
Man once named as a person of interest in young Dolph's murder has now also been killed.
With one thing leading to the next, and the violence snowballing onto something else.
2 people have been arrested in a deadly Castalia Heights shooting.
So it's likely that with all of his suspects all over the news, this is why young Dolph's death suspects are all dead. War in Memphis. The death of young Dolph in November 2021 caused chaos in the city of Memphis. He was one of, if not the city's most beloved rappers, and he was killed before he was set to deliver Thanksgiving turkeys to the less fortunate. His killing fueled anger among many people in Memphis, causing it to be a dangerous place to be. Police were basically telling people to stay indoors.
Tonight, we strongly encourage everyone to stay home if you do not have to be out.
But it wasn't simply chaos that ensued, but a war. According to the YouTube channel Cut to the Chase TV, many people were going into exile.
As soon as young Dolph lost his life, who left Memphis? Key Glock. He put all his yellow cars on a ramp and got the hell on. When Big Nooski lost his life, what did Moneybagg Yo do? Got the hell out of Memphis. He's like, man, this is too much. I don't want to get caught in the crossfire because now I know it's war. It's going to be casualties on both sides, and I'm not trying to be in the mix of it.
And young Dolph's death was one of its instigators. When news broke out that Dolph was killed, it was unclear who exactly was involved, but the police soon found people connected to the death.
That officers need help locating 26-year-old Devin Burns and 26-year-old Joshua Taylor. With the addition of these two men, there are now 5 people total either behind bars, on the run, or wanted for questioning in the case that has garnered national attention.
There was a slight distinction made between all of the men involved. Some were charged directly with the killing, some were seen as accessories to the killing, whereas others were simply listed as a person of interest.
These 5 men are either in custody or wanted for questioning. Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith are both behind bars, both charged with murder in the case. Last week, an arrest warrant was issued for Shondell Barnett for being an accessory after the fact.
And the list got longer.
Sunday, 2 more men were added to the names of those police want to speak with. They are Joshua Taylor and Devin Burns.
But it didn't stop there. Added to this list was someone who they believe was the mastermind behind the killing.
Hernandez Govan. He is charged with first-degree murder, criminal attempted first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
And these people were all connected. Once they found one person, this led to another, and there was almost a domino effect of culprits.
The police didn't start getting leads, they didn't start developing suspects, they didn't start developing motives until they started locking people up. The moment Cornelius Smith got locked up, that's when everything went downhill. That's when they got Straight Drop as a suspect. Then they locked Straight Drop up. That's when they got Shondell Barnett.
These names were blasted all over the news. And while I said Govan was the mastermind, this was what news reports said at the time. Since then, something strange has happened. Govan has been given a bond and is allowed to stay on house arrest. And this is with the consent of young Dolph's family. Meanwhile, Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith have to stay in jail. Why would someone alleged to have committed first-degree murder be allowed outside prison? This has led people to the conclusion that Govan may not have been as central to young Dolph's death as initially stated. When people sought revenge for young Dolph's death, the first person they went for was not Govan, but somebody else.
Yeah, we start with that breaking news tonight. We've been told by Memphis police that a high-profile gang member was killed in a shooting in Orange Mound this afternoon. This is according to family members who tell us Joshua Taylor was named a person of interest in the young Dolph murder case back in February of 2022.
The details of the scene were pretty gruesome.
Officers say the shooting happened at Spotswood Avenue near Bunton Street. Police received a call about a body found around 1 p.m. this afternoon. A short time later, Police Chief C.J. Davis made the scene. Neighbors telling us they think the victim was actually shot last night. Police are telling us the investigation is still ongoing. We'll keep you posted.
Of course, this could have been a coincidence, but even news outlets made a clear connection between the murder of young Dolph and Joshua Taylor.
In November 2021, Dolph was killed outside a South Memphis cookie store. 3 months later, MPD called Taylor and another man persons of interest. Taylor was reportedly questioned but never charged. Those close to the case tell us Taylor is part of a group, the same group linked to the suspects charged in connection with Dolph's murder.
And it left locals with the sense that this wasn't the end, and more was yet to come.
Taylor's death has left the community on edge, as many fear the violence isn't over, that retaliation will only continue.
YouTubers were predicting war. All of the people linked to young Dolph's death just so happened to be members of a Memphis gang called True La Mafia. This is something we will dig much deeper into later, but just keep in mind that Dolph's killing did not come from individual shooters, but from a sophisticated organization. According to King Ock 47,
I told y'all just on the live stream, niggas about to start dying and going to jail real soon. Ain't nobody want to believe me, bro. All this is tied to Dolph. All this, bro. All this is trickle-down effects.
The crucial piece of information was that Justin Taylor was not simply a gang member, but the leader.
Teezy ain't just no gang member. Teezy was the head of Trula Mafia.
With a major hit taken out on young Dolph, the buck stopped at the gang's leader.
That means if anybody that's in Trula got anything to do with young Dolph's death, Justin Johnson. Teasy at the end of the day gives the okay.
At first, people were wondering why it was Teasy that was attacked and not the actual people who pulled the trigger. The simple argument was that the shooters were simply following orders.
So at the end of the day, getting Teasy out the way is worth more than even getting the actual killer out the way. Because if it weren't for you, who is this?
And another suspicious death that occurred happened to a rapper member named Big Newski. He is believed to have been a friend of Justin Johnson, and as I'll get into later, has some other interesting connections.
Big Newski is the same that was all in pictures with Justin Johnson, young Dolph's alleged killer.
Another simple reason why Teasy and Big Newski were targeted is because they were still out on the street. The two shooters of young Dolph are behind prison walls, so obviously not as easy to attack. Justin Johnson, however, was punched in the face during his incarceration. What's more, the suspects connected to young Dolph's murder were all wearing special uniforms to indicate that they needed extra protection from other inmates.
You see the red shirt Govan is wearing? It is because he, along with others charged in this very high-profile case, are having to be kept away from the general population in lockup.
Trilla Mafia apparently did not have a fixed structure, but the leader of this gang, CEO Teasy, would have had to clear something like killing young Dolph.
It's true that there's no structure, but there is something called loose structure. For something that big to go down, you think Justin Johnson could just get paid to do it? No. Teasy had to know about it.
And clearly, Teasy was known as someone who was directly involved in young Dolph's death. A lot of people were delighted that this man had been killed. There were even celebrations of Dolph's death on Twitter users posting, "What goes around comes around," "Street justice," and "Case closed." It looks as if these people were simply young Dolph's fans. However, there are some artists on Paper Route Empire that were also in a celebratory mood. Kenny Muni posted LD, which could stand for Long Live Dolph. However, the bigger question was whether this was revenge or karma. CEO Teasy, as the leader of a criminal organization, would probably have had more than one enemy and people with more than one reason to take him out. What happened next supports the case that this was a response to young Dolph's death.
Also in the news, a man is now dead after a shooting happened on Castalia Heights this morning. Officers responded to the scene at 1 a.m. to the 800 block of Cloverdale Drive and found a 53-year-old man dead at the scene.
In response to CEO Teasy's death, another shooting occurred. This happened in Castalia Heights, a neighborhood associated with young Dolph. This was no coincidence. The people seeking revenge for young Dolph's death were a group named Double R. In young Dolph's song Get Paid, he raps, "Double R parked in my front yard." The gang Double R was tight with young Dolph, and by extension also tight with young Dolph's label, Paper Route Empire, which promoted mainly artists from Memphis. According to King Act 47, this was a shooting that took place in Dolph's old neighborhood in Double R territory.
Late last night in Castalia Heights, young Dolph hood, they call it Dolph Land, with some be at Double R. They saying two people slid over there, just start shooting up everything.
The shooting was so brutal that an innocent man living in the neighborhood was tragically killed.
A 58-year-old man lost his life, but he was not the intended target. And I'm also hearing that it may have been another shooting just not too long ago, Castalia Heights.
Another suspicious incident was the tragic death of Lotta Cash Desto, an up-and-coming rapper in Houston. She was apparently the daughter of Hernandez Govan. It's unclear who the perpetrator was, and there would need to be a lot more evidence to tie this to the feuds between Trilla Mafia and Double R. That being said, Govan posted in response to his daughter's death with, "I think I cursed you, Destiny, with my lifestyle. I apologize, baby." And apparently Double R and Trilla Mafia were once the same gang.
If y'all don't know the history of Double R and Trula, they all used to be one. Trula also used to be in Castalia Heights. They split up, which created Double R and Trula.
So let's look into the gang affiliations of the suspects behind young Dolph's murder, and more importantly, why the hit was called out on young Dolph. Gang affiliations. None of the people involved with young Dolph's death have been convicted yet, but clearly in the case of Joshua Taylor, the people who went out to get him are not interested in the verdict from a court of law. But it is very hard to deny that these are all members of Trula Mafia. Cut to the chase. TV came across this rather interesting photo.
Boom! That is Trula Mafia in Miami the whole month of June. That is CEO Teasy. That's Straight Drop. That's Shondell Barnett.
Straight Drop is the rapping name of Justin Johnson, one of the alleged shooters. Here we see Johnson wearing a Paper Route Empire chain. Straight Drop was never signed to Young Dolph, but as an up-and-coming rapper in Memphis, there's no doubt that he knew who Dolph was. Some contend that he was not wearing this chain as a fan. Another image surfaced where Young Dolph appears to be performing at a club, and Johnson can be seen in the background. It's chilling to think how many times Young Dolph may have unknowingly crossed paths with his future killer. Cut to the Chase TV found some other images of Trula Mafia members wearing pre-chains.
Take a look at these pictures. You got Straight Drop rocking the Paper Route Empire chain on his belt buckle as a wallet holder. Y'all see it? You got JoJo Splat rocking the Paper Route Empire chain even after Young Dolph has been dead for 2 months.
Normally, if you see someone wearing a G-Unit or a Wu-Tang chain, you would assume that this is because they are a fan of their music. However, with the Puri chains, there is actually the opposite going on.
Every time Trula Mafia is wearing that Paper Route Empire chain, that's not a nod to Young Dolph. That's not an honorary pendant they're wearing it. They are wearing that Paper Route Empire chain to mock Young Dolph, to mock Paper Route Empire. Yeah, we got your chain, come get it back. We took your chain from you.
A key piece of evidence in Young Dolph's murder is a stolen white Mercedes. If you recall what I said earlier, this is a sophisticated criminal organization, and one of their biggest rackets is carjackings.
Focusing on a widespread and sometimes deadly trend, carjackings. Car thefts in Memphis have almost doubled this year, and according to MPD, the suspects involved are getting younger.
For auto thefts, we're up significantly, and the majority of our suspects are below the age of 18, almost 30%.
And these cars are used for getting things done.
Think about it, they're not reselling the cars, they're not painting the cars, they are stealing these cars to do other crimes, to do other shootings, to do other murders. Let's keep that in mind when you think about the Young Dolph case.
When Young Dolph was shot on that fateful day, the shooters were driving a stolen white Mercedes. This Mercedes was tied to a second shooting which happened in Covington, which is about 40 miles away from Memphis. This Mercedes was found in an area known as Orange Mound in Memphis, outside an abandoned house.
Images of this now infamous white Mercedes, Memphis police say, was the getaway car used in Young Dolph's murder at Makita's Cookies, has been viewed by millions. The car was found outside this abandoned home on Bradley Street days after the killing in late November.
Then this car is connected to Justin Johnson.
It's the same home seen here in this music video featuring Young Dolph's accused killer, Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop.
And this neighborhood is connected to Hernandez Govan.
Court records show 43-year-old Hernandez Govan, who was just indicted in the rap star slaying, along with Johnson and Cornelia Smith, once lived just a few houses down.
And if Orange Mound rings a bell, that's because it was mentioned earlier on in this video. It's the same neighborhood where CEO Teasy was killed. So now that we have established that the suspects of Young Dolph's murder were Trilla Mafia, let's get into what their beef was with Young Dolph. And believe it or not, Trilla Mafia and Young Dolph at one stage were on good terms. In fact, Young Dolph worked with rapper J Money Trilla on a song together. J Money Trilla was tragically killed in 2016, as was his brother D Money. The alleged killer of D Money was a person named Uncle Danny, and Uncle Danny was signed to Paper Route Empire. The only piece of evidence to connect this is a rather strange Facebook exchange after Young Dolph's death between someone and the mother of J Money. The message from the other person said, J Money would have had these streets crying about Dolph, to which J Money's mother replies, he sure didn't cry about him or D Money. He signed D Money Killer. King Act 47 seems to be referring to this when he says,
Trilla used to be cool with Dolph until Young Dolph signed somebody that on the streets, and allegedly, I'm not saying who the dude name is, y'all do that for yourself, killed they homie.
For Young Dolph, this deal was strictly business. He was signing a promising artist that he was convinced would bring him in money. And besides, Young Dolph had already moved out of Memphis and was living in Atlanta, so street beef in Memphis was not his top priority. For Trilla Mafia, this was a betrayal. And for most gangs, betrayal results in retaliation.
Once Dolph did that, Trilla took it as ultimate disrespect. And you start seeing Trilla align themselves with Young Dolph Ops. Who was Young Dolph Ops? CMG.
And another important person in the equation is Key Glock. Key Glock was signed to Paper Route Empire and was seen as Young Dolph's protege. They even made a series of albums together called Dumb and Dumber. After Young Dolph's death, it came to light that Key Glock knew some of the people associated with the death of his mentor, Young Dolph. Dolph and Glock are also technically family, as they are cousins through marriage. But he seems to have also been friends with CEO Teasy. This is quite damning information, but there could be a much more innocent explanation. As I mentioned earlier, Trella Mafia and Double R were once the same gang until they split into two sets. When this happened, you basically had to pick sides and abandon some of your former friends depending on what side they were on. Key Glock, who was by now establishing himself as a rapper, was probably holding on to friendships that it was not wise to hold on to. Key Glock being involved in the murder does not make sense for two reasons. Firstly, this guy is his cousin, and why would kill a member of his extended family? Secondly, why would he kill the person who was promoting his career and bringing him in so much money? So the connections between him and the alleged suspects of Young Dolph's murder make no sense, both from an emotional and logical viewpoint. Nonetheless, he does have some explaining to do.
It's quite funny how everybody that used to be associated with you, everybody that used to run with you, everybody that used to be a part of your crew is now accused of killing your cousin, Young Dolph.
But for Cut to the Chase TV, the murder of Young Dolph, or at least part of why they could have killed Dolph, was to cut off the money supply of Uncle Danny or Key Glock. If you take out Dolph, you have essentially cut off the food supply.
They see Young Dolph buying his artist cars, cribs, chains. So you helping my enemy eat. We don't necessarily have a problem with you, but you is the food supply, you is the water supply, you is supplying my enemy, so we gotta take you out.
When Young Dolph's murder came to light, many people pointed the finger at one person and one person only. Young Dolph had a lengthy and violent feud with another Memphis rapper, so when he got killed, it was assumed that he might have something to do with it. I'm of course talking about Yo Gotti, so I'm going to present all of the information and let you decide whether there is any connection. Trella and CMG versus Pre. Young Dolph and Yo Gotti could have been the best of friends, but for a number of reasons, the two never saw eye to eye. The beef started when Young Dolph was coming up in Memphis, and Yo Gotti tried to get him signed to his label. A huge part of Young Dolph's story was that he was an independent artist, and he was determined to stand on his own 2 feet. Gotti, meanwhile, saw this as a sign of disrespect. This clearly caused consternation between the two, and Dolph tweeted, "Bra went from being my #1 fan and wanting to sign me to being my biggest hater." Dolph added fuel to the fire by calling his album King of Memphis, a title that Yo Gotti regularly referred to himself as. The implication was that Gotti's throne had been usurped by Dolph. However, Dolph downplayed this by saying that was not the king of Memphis's, but a king of Memphis. It's a small but significant distinction.
King of Memphis, not the king of Memphis. Like, all of my partners king. Everybody that hang with me, all my partners, like, everybody have some paper, everybody caked up.
Gotti did not publicly respond to Dolph, and most of the retaliation came from Gotti's affiliate, Black Youngstar. Youngstar posted a video of himself alongside others where he was carrying a gun and walking around Dolph's neighborhood looking for him. He can be heard saying, "Dolph, you a bitch, you a soft If you got a problem, say you got a problem, and you ain't even no king of Memphis." Dolph responded on Instagram with, "First thing first, everybody know it's your hoe Gotti. That's sending your artist out to say the lame he been saying and doing. I guess you still mad cause I didn't never sign with your or is you still in your feelings cause you fell out with? Gucci Mane and you was mad at me cause I kept rocking with Gucci. Then there was not one, but 2 hits made on Young Dolph's life, both of which had links to Gotti and Black Youngstar. In February 2017, Dolph was in North Carolina and someone started shooting at the Jeep he was driving in. The vehicle was shot at roughly 100 times, but thanks to the vehicle's bulletproof glass, Dolph survived the incident. He even mocked his shooters by releasing a song named 100 Shots. The police found out that the van used to trap and shoot was rented by none other than Black Youngstar. Youngstar was initially charged, but these were later dropped, with Youngstar claiming that this vehicle was stolen. But it was a mighty fine coincidence that Black Youngstar happened to be in North Carolina at the same time as Dolph and had a car connected to the shooting. Another amazing coincidence happened later that year in September.
Breaking news, a shooting at a popular tourist spot in Hollywood. Tonight, a rapper is in critical condition.
Dolph survived this incident once again. And just like before, one of his enemies happened to be in the same city as him. The shooting happened outside Lowe's Hollywood Hotel, and one of the hotel's guests during this time was Yo Gotti. Gotti's friend Corey McClendon was charged with these shootings. And just like before, these charges were dropped once again. No guilty verdicts were made once again, but let's just say that Gotti and Black Youngstar have some very good lawyers. So when Dolph was shot for the 3rd time and did not survive this time, you could forgive people for jumping to the conclusion that Gotti and his affiliates were involved. But this time round, there was nothing that incriminated Gotti and Black Youngstar. What's speculated is that Young Dolph's label and the gang he was affiliated with joined forces, and Trella Mafia and the label they were affiliated with joined together. It was the classic case of my enemy's enemy is my friend.
two hoods that don't get along with each other versus two record labels that don't get along with each other. Basically what it is.
And here are some links being made between Trilla Mafia and Gotti's label CMG. Two images surfaced which has led many people to put two and two together. In one photo, we see Hernandez Govan in a picture with a guy named Big Juke, who is Gotti's brother. A picture of Govan and Gotti together would be a lot more damaging. But the fact that there is only 1 degree of separation between the two is quite interesting, to say the least. There are even allegations that Big Juke put the hit out and put a $40K bounty on Dolph's head. Grove Hero from Memphis posted a video on Instagram that alleges that Big Juke put a bounty on Dolph's head.
If a told you, hey man, look bro, my Juke put a $40,000 hit on you, bro. Like, man, come on, bro.
There is also an Instagram video of Big Juke with none other than CEO Teezy.
Nah, man, you doing prop money now. Is that prop money, man?
And this image has also gone viral. This is the music video for a song by Black Youngsta, and it appears that Shondell Barnett, one of the people considered an accessory to Young Dolph's murder, is there in the video. And remember before I mentioned the death of the rapper Big Nusky? Well, Nusky was signed to a label called Bread Gang, which is run by the rapper Moneybagg Yo, who is signed to CMG. There seems to be only 1 or 2 degrees of separation wherever you look. Even if Gotti is involved, it will be incredibly difficult to find his fingerprints on anything. Gotti is named after the famous mobster John Gotti, and both of them are in a similar situation. John Gotti was known as the Teflon Don. Teflon is used in non-stick cooking pans, and the police struggled to place any charges on him that would stick. Yo Gotti is in a similar situation. He is not the leader of Trilla Mafia or anything, but he is a rich and successful rapper and entrepreneur and needs to have a squeaky clean image.
Gotti is at a level to where the streets take care of itself. He the bag, and they make sure in all ways the bag is protected. He don't got a hand in nothing, ain't put a dollar in nothing, ain't caught a hit in nothing.
With Gotti, there is too much at stake for him to go to jail. That's why when Dolph was taking shots at Gotti, it was Black Youngsta jumping in and doing his dirty work. Gotti's hands are clean at all times. But as for his brother Big Juke, things are not as straightforward. In July 2023, he is believed to have been arrested. But as to why he was arrested, we still don't know. If Big Juke is arrested in connection with Young Dolph's murder, then it would be very difficult for Gotti and his affiliates to deny that they had nothing to do with this, or are completely innocent. Thank you so much for watching. Please click on some of the videos.
Just when they thought they got away with it, there's no statute of limitations on murder. And anybody who was involved in conspiring and plotting to kill the king of Memphis, your day is coming. And a lot of people wanted to say that Dolph didn't have security that day at Makita's. And then it came out to be that his brother was there, and Marcus Thornton was the one that was supposed to be securing Dolph and making sure nothing happened to him that day, but unfortunately, it did. And if you look back, before Dolph was murdered, he always kept an entourage of bodyguards around him. That's right. He had security everywhere he went. Young Dolph hired family members at Supreme Security Services to secure him at these events that he had. But what I want to know is, where were these guys on the day of November 17, 2021, when he was gunned down at Makita's? That's suspicious. You shot straight, but you shot late. Hi, 11. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Many questions are still yet to be answered in the Young Dolph case. And a lot of things are still not transparent, and a lot of things are still a mystery. Why didn't Dolph's brother shoot back at the white car? As seen in the image, he has the Draco pointed right at the vehicle. But when they recover the vehicle, there is no bullet holes in the car, or any bullet hole damage on either side of this car from what I've seen. Okay, so is this the same car from the Dolph murder? I'm standing on top of that. Those are two different Benzes, man. All right? This Benz right here is definitely not that same car that they recovered, bruh. Either Marcus Thornton, Dolph's brother, never shot at that Benz that day, or he did shoot at the Benz like the witnesses said they heard him doing and saw him doing. They pulled the switcheroo and showed us a Benz that had no bullet holes in it. Why would they do that though? And the only logical reason for them doing that is to cover up the Young Dolph murder. And another thing that don't make sense is, if Govan did pay for the hit or solicit the hit on Dolph, right? Why would the shooters or people involved with Dolph's murder and that white Benz parked at houses down for where Govan residence is at. They say Cornelius Smith's fingerprints was in the white Benz, but which white Benz was his fingerprints in, you see? So Cornelius Smith has a good argument here, because those aren't the same Benzes, all right? So if they do have his fingerprints in a Mercedes-Benz, is it the one that was stolen from the lady at Kroger? Or is it the one that was shown in the image at Makita's on the steel frame? So clearly Cornelius has an argument, but you have Jamarcus Johnson saying that he called his brother Straight Drop talking about money, a payment. Given that that payment, that money he was asking about could have been for anything. So the DA has to know for sure that that was the money from the murder for hire. And then Jamarcus Johnson, Straight Drop brother, said it came from Unc. And that's what has everybody wondering, who is Unc? And that shall be revealed, because obviously the DA knows who Unc is. They just haven't put the name out there yet. And that's why Jamarcus Johnson's life could be in danger, because he has already revealed this information. Go follow my source on IG, Young Dolph Unsolved, who's breaking news every day in the Young Dolph case. And my source says that Maurice Bertrand, the family member of Dolph, who owned the security company that Dolph trusted to protect his life, right? As you see, Bertrand said losing a family member, right? It's hard. Confirming that they are family members. And it makes you wonder, what were they that day? There were other security guards that were also seen securing Dolph besides Bertrand. And I'm not sure if they were kin of Dolph also, but Bertrand, as he said, was family, you see? So upon these other two security guards also securing Dolph, where were they? So that's 3 security guards, right? And as seen here in this picture, the last performance, allegedly, was at University of Memphis. And there goes a security guard right there. And this guy right here, he was a security guard for Dolph on numerous occasions, seen right there. And videos and photos confirm that a 3rd security guard that could be seen right here behind Dolph, okay, was seen several times with Dolph. Why wasn't any of the 3 that I showed you at Makita's that day? But there goes Dolph's brother right there in the background, Marcus Thornton, who was there. But he's not a security guard, okay? But that's just strange to me. 3 security guards, you know, seen on and off with Dolph before the murder, you know, leading up to it, different events. But all of a sudden, they had an event that day, a turkey giveaway. Dolph goes to Makita's and get killed. No security guards in sight. Only Marcus Thornton, just his brother, who apparently didn't shoot up the Benz because once they recovered it, no bullet holes was in that Benz. So like I said, what's really going on? It's going to be interesting to see if the state calls Marcus Thornton, Dolph's brother, to the witness stand to testify about the course of events that took place that day at Makita's homemade butter cookies. Because the news told us he was inside the cookie shop with Dolph, with his back turned at the time, on their phones, not paying attention when they were ambushed, right? But maybe we were lied to. Only Dolph's brother knows if somebody inside Makita's started shooting at them first, before the assailants pulled up outside Makita's and started shooting at them. So he's going to be very, very essential in this murder trial, because he holds a lot of answers about what happened inside of the shop before Straight Drop and Cornelius allegedly got there. And also, Dolph's brother could tell us how many shooters he's seen, okay, versus what the state is telling us, all right? They're saying they have video footage and it's only showing 2 shooters. But what they don't understand is there's already evidence out there that's been put out with 3 different suspects in the photos. Now, how are the feds managing to keep looking over that 3rd suspect? It's crazy. Where is this hooded heavyweight shooter right here? Running away. he disappears, right? You see the Bass Pro shooter. You see the other hooded shooter, but he's not fat. So clearly, there was a third shooter there. Even 2 years later, they still haven't announced the third shooter, the heavy-set, hooded suspect in the photo that they keep switching out with a slimmer version of a suspect in the hooded photo. And that further lets me know, come on, man, y'all playing games. What's really going on with the young Dolph case? I could have swore when this first happened, the news told us that the suspects went inside of Makita's and killed Dolph. That's right. And we also had a confession from the cookie shop saying that it happened inside. That's right. I have the footage. Let's check out the tapes. Run it.
A day after Memphis rapper Young Dolph is gunned down outside a South Memphis cookie store, Memphis police are still searching for his killer or killers, and how police appear to be getting closer. Here's the latest as we have it right now. Late this afternoon, Memphis police released 2 pictures of 2 suspects. They believe these men are responsible for shooting and killing Young Dolph, but they remain at large tonight. Reporter Jenny DePrizio has been working this story all day. She is live outside Makita's Cookies, which has also become a makeshift memorial to the South Memphis rapper. Jenny, what's the latest where you are?
Yeah, take a look here. All day long, people have been stopping by, dropping off things like balloons and candles and teddy bears, paying their respects to young Dolph. You know, police at this point are being very tight-lipped about this murder investigation. However, fans here say they want the killers caught.
It's so hateful and evil. It don't make no sense. The devil is riding his cities. This young man got killed, lost his life for nothing. He got a family and kids, too. That was so evil what just happened.
Memphis police say this is who they're looking for. According to surveillance footage, Memphis police say 2 suspects exited a white 2-door Mercedes armed with guns. The suspects approached young Dolph while he was inside the business and shot him several times. The shooters then fled the scene.
Really? Wow. So the shooters approached young Dolph inside the business and shot him several times. And then they fled in the white Mercedes. This is the report the next day. They had multiple chances to get the story right. Why did she say the suspects approached Dolph inside of the cookie shop and shot him multiple times, then fled the scene? Why did she say that? Is that actually what happened? And keep in mind that day before, right after it happened, right? Moments after it happened, the cookie shop went on the news and said that yes, indeed, it happened inside the cookie shop. All right? The shooting was done inside. So, run it.
So your dad, you were on the phone with your dad when it happened? I was on. It wasn't when it happened. It was right after. He called us like directly after, you know, the shots were fired and Dolph was hit. And you can hear him saying, "Dolph, stay with me." Yeah, we heard him say that, and he was just, man, it's a lot. Everyone's talking about how much he loved Makita. He did a lot. He was I got a video with him. He was telling us, you know what I'm saying, every time I come here, I can't leave without getting some chocolate chip and like fresh out the oven. This it. So chocolate chip and ice cream was his favorite. So yeah, we gon' Was it inside of your store or right outside? Well, from what I was hearing, it was inside the store. It was inside the store. So, you know, yeah. So we just well, from what I was hearing, it was inside the store. It was inside the store. So, you know, yeah. So we just
Memphis police say 2 suspects exited a white 2-door Mercedes armed with guns. The suspects approached young Dolph while he was inside the business and shot him several times. The shooters then fled the scene.
You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button.
I'll be back. So, that whole situation, man, how it happened. You know, young Dolph was independent. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you're not in a label and you don't pick sides and you hold it on your own label or basically your own thing, it gets crazy. Now, I guess Yo Gotti, man, been like, you know, I say he was running shit as far as labelly and musically and shit like that. You know, because you know, there's rappers, then you got the streets and labels. It's all the same thing, but it's different levels to the shit. So, young Dolph came in this bitch independent. You know, he ain't fucking with none of them niggas. He made his own thing. He got his own game. And, you know, he made his own money. And, you know, he supported his own. As far as he was saying, he was the king of Memphis for him. You know what I'm saying? So, Yo Gotti was not fucking with that shit. And people in his gang, allegedly, I know they already been taken out, like teasing all these niggas that were allegedly was part of his gang, but ended up moving from each other because young Dolph was trying to support people that was allegedly had took out some of the people in the gang or PRE, because there was two different gangs inside of PRE that they had. Young Dolph had signed some of the niggas who took out they niggas inside the gang to make more money. Now, like they were saying in the video, young Dolph wasn't really staying in Memphis at that time. You know, young Dolph had kind of moved away, so all the street gang violence, you know, I don't think young Dolph was really tripping over it because he like, you know what I'm saying, he doing his own thing. So he's like, man, okay, that's happening in Memphis. Why should I have to worry about me when I'm trying to do is make money? You know what I'm saying? It's not really about, oh, I signed him to sneak this the nigga who's fucking with me because I feel like he's trying to do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes niggas just be trying to make money, but it could have been another situation around too. Young Dolph could have done that just because, like, oh, I'm not fucking with the nigga right here. I might get the other niggas who's popping, and they say this nigga right here, he's a street nigga too. He taking out the niggas who's fucking with me. He taking them niggas out. So allegedly, the niggas who he was fucking with, I guess they got mad at him because like, damn, how can you be fucking with that nigga? How can you be fucking with them niggas who's not fucking with us? You gonna sign them niggas and get them more money, take us out? Cause like I said, young Dolph's not really staying in Memphis at the time, so they signed the PRE, but it's like it's not. It's a label, so it's like all these people are just signing in at this time. It don't matter what gang violence you got. If you got some talent, you getting signed. You know what I'm saying? So now they're talking about all the people who've been running his chain is trying to disrespect him. I think a lot of niggas who were trying to run the chain have been already taken out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when young Dolph died, allegedly they stole his chains and shit, and from his crib and shit. And like I said, y'all know about the Makita's girl, that girl in the video, Makita's, that girl, they said she already got locked up. So it's like, you know, this situation is getting tough. Yo Gotti ain't gonna have really nothing to do with the situation because Yo Gotti is smart as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Smart, super smart. Y'all know how King Von and Duck and putting hits on heads. You know, you can't leave nothing, you can't leave no trace or nothing. You know what I'm saying? When, you know, you doing shit like that. So it's like, as long as you don't get the main people who bring it in the bag caught up, you're good. So it's like, I think Yo Gotti is good for this situation. Black Young still has some shit to do with the situation, but they let him go because I don't know if they had nothing to do with it, you know what I'm saying, just as far as what's going on. Now they got these people already locked up, the people who allegedly shot them, who set it up, and the nigga who has more part to do with it. Now you know the other nigga, the main nigga, he been released on bond. The killer, he's already locked up. I think Straight Drop, they trying to say he did it, is already locked up. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. Now, Yo Gotti, man, you know, like I said, man, you know, he's CMG, man, so, you know, he got a lot of pull around the city. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he didn't want no competition. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that he wanted to sign young Dolph, but young Dolph didn't want to be signed, man. He wanted to do it by himself. And I don't feel like Yo Gotti was really fucking with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, just like fucking with it. I don't think he was fucking with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he came out with King of Memphis, he was not fucking with that shit, man. And you know, now, you know, people are still getting signed by Yo Gotti because Young Dolph ain't in that bitch no more. Young Dolph, second artist, that nigga gone. He left. You know what I'm saying? Hey, give me a minute, man. That nigga left. You know what I'm saying? As soon as Young Dolph died, he left. And that's what's been happening so recently, man. Key Glock, he gone. That and they was talking about in the video about Moneybagg Yo and that other nigga. When that nigga died, Moneybagg Yo left. A lot of these niggas are leaving. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is staying around after the niggas die. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, you feel me? That, you know, you really, I think Mozzie was who Moneybagg Yo was really fucking with at that time. I guess he got taken out. You know, it's sad because, you know, these niggas really be fucking with you. You know, they sign you, they give you all the tools to set up the studio, the bag, just to get what it is, get your music popping. It get popping, y'all both lit, and boom, the nigga dies and you gotta go. Cause you're like, you know, it's too much drama. You know, it's not like he couldn't protect himself, but it's like, bruh, there's some crazy shit like that happen, man. You 9 times out of 10, you don't want to stay around and see what the fuck gonna happen, cause it could, like, more shit can just go crazy. And so, you know, after all that shit, like I said, Black Youngster Brother. You know what I'm saying? Black Youngster Brother just died. And like I said, y'all know that Black Youngster was the main one talking crazy. Then this Young Dolph altercation beat. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because that's like his third final brother. It's like they playing Mario Kart. Mario, and he had Luigi, Wario, and that other nigga with the long skin nigga with the nose. They had all Linguini, what the fuck his nigga name was? They had all these motherfuckers. All the niggas died. The only one left is that nigga. Black Youngster. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It just, man, I think Yo Gotti, I think Young Dolph was really trying to help out the community because they were saying that in the beginning he was trying to give out turkeys. So, of course, you know, I feel like Young Dolph was helping out the community and actually giving back to the community and trying to support the community. It's just like, you know, when two heads collide and it's two egos and it's two, like, you know what I'm saying, two different type of energies coming at each other, sometimes it happens like that. And then the people in the middle of the section just get caught up, and then everybody just get caught up, then you know it's betrayal, then it's betrayal, then it's everything. The nigga who you fucking with might be trying to snake you out. That's just how it goes in this gang shit, man. You know, sometimes you try to have a successful music career, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, a lot of this shit be from the streets, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it be hood niggas niggas are smart as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Figured out the game, how to get the bag, and doing their thing. And, you know, niggas get caught up in drama, man. Niggas, it's like sometimes niggas don't want to see you win. And that's just how it goes, you know? And, you know, you can't get mad because the other nigga don't want to see you win, because, you know, it's, at the end of the day, it's all competition. You know, if you had everybody trying to if you had everybody trying to suck you off, it wouldn't be like kind of real, you know. Cause you know you always gonna have somebody who go against you. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna always have somebody who fucking with you. You know, you can't be in the world thinking everybody gonna say yes, 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 yes. Then when you get that one no, you're like, fuck the world. Cause you know somebody gonna say no. Somebody gonna be like, they ain't fucking with you. Cause that's just how people are. People not gonna be your biggest fans. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect everybody to be my biggest fans at the end of the day, but I feel like sometimes we all can need. But that's the thing, you know. Some people step on people's toes, and you know, it get to a point where niggas, they like, damn, I got all the money, I got all the bitches, I got all the lit songs, and it's both for the same niggas. They both thinking that same way. Lit, both got the bad bitches, both running some shit, both controlling some shit, and it's like, damn, what the fuck can we do? And then it just end up, and one nigga get taken out, and like I said. The strippers, man. Them bitches, man, always be. The backdoor queens is them females, man. You can't. Them females, man, will set your dumb ass up if you let them. And that's why I be like, man, in my life, I try to figure out what's a setup and what's not a setup, because these days you never fucking know, man. So we're gonna talk about the Israel-Palestine shit. Israel, man, the fake Jews, you know what I'm saying? They kept on fucking with the Palestinians. The Palestinians, you know, they got their land, you know what I'm saying? The fake Jews kept on trying to take their damn land and fuck with the people. So the Palestinians got mad and fired back. Now, the fake Jews are like crying, like, well, look what happened. They done bombed us. But they've been fucking with these motherfuckers since the beginning. So now, you know, a whole bunch of shit. And one thing I want to tell y'all niggas, man, if y'all did not know, the Khazari fake Jews, they're the ones who started slavery for the black people. Let that sit in your mind. Let that sink in your mind. And that Israel, the fake Israel, did become something until America was kind of created. And the top people in America is part of that group of the fake Jews. And so all our money is going to them to keep a secret over us, to keep us down. And that's why everything is like this. That's why they keep on constantly going to war, because we are the real Jews, the black Hebrew Israelites. And that, you know what I'm saying, they stole us. And everybody already know, if you in America, you know what I'm saying, you might not know, because America's trying to keep the secret. But if you go out of America, you go all around the world, in the museums, and all the people is black. Jesus is black. Mary's black. Everybody in the Bible is black. You know what I'm saying? You go outside of America. In America, you know, I get this whitewashed ass shit up. You know what I'm saying? Fake Jews and all that shit. But, you know, the real know what real is going on. So, I hope y'all enjoy these videos, man. I just bitch. Hood, Northside, Crips, they prayed up. And they're trying to do a draft out here. They trying to take it out. They tell all you transgender ass men, women, gotta join. If you're a man that look like a woman, you gotta join. But if you're a woman that look like a man, you don't have to join. So, hey, a lot of y'all niggas fuck, because I'm not joining. What the fuck are we talking about? We out this bitch. I'm a hood street nigga, man. I'm not joining that shit, man. The transgender, they can go and go out here, but I'm not. We out this bitch. Hood and outside, quick. Dang.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.